My name is Omar and welcome back to my channel. How are you? I'm fantastic and I'm doing really well. Today I'm reviewing Aaron Terence Hughes fragrances, all of them to be precise. Have we got our full bottles of Aaron Terence Hughes Sluts? Are we engaged with our higher selves? Let's get testing. I hope you don't mind my impression, Aaron. I'm sure Editing Unicorn will do it justice. Aaron Terence Hughes is a powerful presence on YouTube. He is a perfumer who does reviews of fragrances. Now that is a fantastic idea. I think most of us love to see professionals in their field really talk about the nitty-gritty of a profession, the technicalities of it that us laymen don't appreciate. And that is why it is so addictive to watch Aaron. He is a master in his craft. I know he had fragrances for a long time out there. I hadn't tried them until recently, and I am convinced he is one of the best perfumers out there in the niche market currently. That is no exaggeration. Aaron very kindly sent me over 20 of his fragrances for free, so I'm telling you guys for transparency's sake, but today I'm going to tell you what are the best of the best. I don't like some of them, I'm going to be honest with you. This is still going to be a transparent review for you guys. I have two main points of contention with Aaron's fragrances. First of all, fine, some of them I don't like. I guess that's not really a point of contention, that's just personal preference. Secondly, I do think there are too many of them. Hopefully Aaron appreciates constructive criticism. I do think there are just too many fragrances that have similar vibes in his collections that I think could be consolidated and reduced in number. I'll give examples throughout this video. Maybe Aaron will disagree, and it's difficult as a creator to cut down some of your children, essentially. They feel like your children, I'm sure. And it's essentially like me asking Aaron to choose what his favorite child is. So yeah, agree or disagree, but that's just my opinion. I'm gonna give you guys my favorite from his house, and my number one from each category of fragrances that I always discuss on this channel. And we're going to go through them, and I'm going to give you some honorable mentions I also like, but they did not make the top 6 that I'm going to discuss in this video. Number 1 is Aaron Terence Hughes Oud, which I think would make a fantastic signature. What is Aaron's style and strengths in his perfumery? Aaron, I feel like, is a specialist in oud and darker style fragrances, especially patchouli-based fragrances. Based on his reviews, I can appreciate what kind of fragrances inspired him, and I think he works with oud fantastically. If you want real oud in your fragrances and for an extremely affordable price, I think these are some of the strengths of Aaron, the quality and the price, and then finally also the performance of his fragrances are fantastic also. Aaron always says perfumers have their signature sort of style in all their work. Aaron's style is always this clean skin accord you'll find in all his note breakdowns. Pretty much every single one of his fragrances has it. And I think Aaron basically has this set of musks that he likes to use that gives a lot of integrity to his fragrances. It makes them very creamy and smooth. And pretty much always guarantees performance in his fragrances. Now this fragrance here, Oud, is something that Aaron usually says you can layer other fragrances on top of it. I think this is perfect on its own. This is a 10 out of 10 masterpiece in my opinion. It's a sharp, masculine oud with a nice balance of dates in there as a note, which is very unique. So it's a date and oud scent that then becomes sweeter in a very nice, not overpowering way on the dry down. This is beautifully crafted. This is the kind of fragrance that people who liked Tom Ford's Oud would and wants to upgrade from that for, I think, a cheaper price actually. You go to something like this. This fragrance has fantastic performance as well. I don't even know how long it lasts on me until the next day, basically, to be honest. It's got a soft and moderate projection. I got compliments from this fragrance with 2 sprays 8 hours into wearing it, which is just insane. So yes, this is a perfect example of Aaron's style. It's a great place to start. Honorable mention in the versatile category is Raw Cherry. Some people will absolutely love this. I'm not personally a huge fan of cherry-based fragrances. However, L'Homme Ideal Eau de Parfum I've heard is now discontinued, and Tom Ford's Lost Cherry is not that great in my opinion, it's overpriced. This is definitely a better alternative. This is an oud fragrance again. This is a more dark signature compared to the regular oud from Aaron. This is cherry, dark chocolate, oud, patchouli. It smells like a patchouli fragrance. I'm not sure if it's actually a note breakdown. But yeah, this is basically a perfect dark signature. If you want cherry in your fragrance, this is amazing. One of the best currently, and I get about 8 to 10 hours. The second fragrance I recommend as a signature is Aaron Terence Hughes Maverick. Whilst Oud might be a little bit sharper, maybe a bit on the fresher side, this is definitely a dark signature. For anyone who loves fragrances like Tom Ford's Black Orchid, those kind of guys who love to wear that as a signature, I think you will fall in love with this. I don't even like Black Orchid, but I much prefer this fragrance. This is Aaron's masterpiece. I think, again, patchouli based, a lot of vanilla in here, some nice citruses in the opening to balance it out. It's a very balanced but still dark scent, and it's extremely sexy, powdery, inviting and seductive. I just think this is just a very creative signature to wear. A certain personality, a certain kind of person will love to wear this. I feel like this personifies Aaron really well and his own style. I get 8 to 10 hours of soft and moderate projection, and this is going to be a lot of compliments as well. If you want a brighter signature as opposed to Maverick, go for Aaron Terence Hughes Homme. This smells to me like Prada L'Homme and Parfum de Marly's Pegasus had a baby and has Aaron's signature style onto it as well. It is sweet, smooth, creamy, but still clean, and it lasts absolutely ages, 12 hours with a moderate projection. I don't like either one of those fragrances I mentioned, but I really, really like this. I do think it has a very similar vibe to Ozone. They're both fantastic fragrances, but again, this is an example of fragrances I'm not sure if both of them need to exist. If you want a clubbing fragrance from Aaron, go for Aaron Terence Hughes Neon. Most of Aaron's fragrances are that dark or oud style I talked about. However, some of his creations, I feel like he's trying to tap into the more mainstream market, and I think this fragrance is one of them. Neon smells to me like a combination of Invictus, Aventus, and Sauvage. Those three fragrances had a baby, added the Aaron Terence Hughes signature style, and made this. This is a very sexy fragrance. I don't like it when Aaron goes into his mainstream style fragrances like other fragrances, but generally this is my favorite out of that style that he's done, and I just think it smells really sexy. Again, it's going to be compliments. Many of Aaron's fragrances are going to be compliments. This lasts about 8 hours with a moderate projection. Definitely a very sexy and safe scent to go for, and a unique scent to wear in the clubs, in my opinion, but you could also wear this as a general casual signature. For the office, it's going to have to be Guapo. I said in a previous video, Guapo smells like Parfum de Marly's Percival has grown up. This is apple, citruses, ambroxan, and vetiver, and it's that vetiver note that really differentiates it and gives it a really interesting style. It's mass appealing like Percival, a little bit more mature. It's very clean, fresh, easy to wear, lasts about 8 to 10 hours. For people who like Dunhill's Icon, Terre d'Hermès, or Percival, you will absolutely love this. A very, very good recent release from Aaron. Honorable mention would be Legends. This is Aaron's take on the blue DNA. It is orange, lavender, and that creamy musk he likes to use often. It's again one of those examples of his mainstream sort of fragrances, which is very nice still, but I think his usual style overall is what I prefer. Now this stuff is a game changer. If you want a date night or a special occasion fragrance, then get Aaron Terence Hughes Tabac. I think anytime I look at different suppliers of Aaron's fragrances, Tabac is always sold out. Easily one of Aaron's best creations. For those of you who love Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille and don't think it could get any better, it can, and it has through this. I think this is a superior and slightly cheaper alternative to Tom Ford's Tobacco Vanille. This is actually a fragrance you don't even need to get a full bottle if you really can't afford it. Even just the 10 mils of this stuff, because it's so potent, that 10 mils is going to last you a very long time. This is Aaron's very photorealistic fragrance of what a cigar smells like. It's a little bit more intense and more refined than Tobacco Vanille in my opinion, which is impressive enough as it is. It's got an oud note in here as well, and got a really beautiful vanilla. So it's sort of like it's Tobacco Vanille plus oud. It's just an elevated fragrance overall. It lasts into the next day. This stuff is potent. It's got a soft projection. It's very alluring. It's very, very different to anything you'll smell on the market. One of the best Orientals you'll ever smell, in my opinion. This is peak Aaron right here. If you want a more casual date night fragrance, honorable mention, go for Daddy, which smells like fruits mixed with a lot of tonka bean and vanilla. It's very sexy and sweet in its own way, although surprisingly, it's one of the few fragrances from Aaron that hasn't got phenomenal performance. It's got about 6 hours performance with soft projection, which is okay for a date night fragrance. Another honorable mention for dates is Onyx Extreme. It's an oud and rose combination, which is very traditional, but it's done in Aaron's way. He's done it very well. It's very jammy, sweet. It's perfect for people who like fragrances like Penhaligon's Halfeti, Maison Francis Kurkdjian's Oud Satin Mood, and Xerjov's Alexandria too. If you like any of those kind of fragrances, you will absolutely love this. Extremely long lasting, very sexy, romantic, close projection. For the summer category, I think this is Aaron's weakest category actually. Most of his stuff is a little bit too heavy for the sweltering heat. I think in UK summer weather, then you'll be okay. I think he has a few creations which you can wear in the summer, and this is definitely my favorite for that category. Aaron Terence Hughes Blood Orange. This is a sweet, photorealistic orange fragrance. This feels like a refreshing spray of orange juice on yourself with a nice, smooth, floral and woody dry down. So it's an interesting having a men's fragrance that has jasmine in it. It still smells very masculine, which is impressive to do with the jasmine notes. I think this may be what something like Amen's Altar Zest would have smelled like. It smells like very sweet, candied orange that you can wear in the summertime. Definitely. Again, maybe not in the sweltering heat, but in milder weather, definitely. It lasts 6 to 8 hours. Definitely a solid summer choice. Honorable mentions are the two Haze fragrances, Haze Blue and Haze Black. They're also really nice, and if I had to describe them, it would be a very similar profile to what I described to Blood Orange. Again, another example where I feel like these three fragrances don't need to exist. I think Blood Orange is getting discontinued in August due to IFRA regulations. So if that's the case, I would say go for Haze Blue. It's then my second favorite out of the three. I really do think there needs to be a consolidation of all the fragrances you have, Aaron. You're releasing a lot of new stuff all the time. Personally, as a reviewer, I feel overwhelmed. So I'm not sure how your consumer feels. Yeah, hopefully you appreciate the feedback. That concludes this buying guide. What are your thoughts on Aaron Terence Hughes? Do you watch his videos? What do you think of his style? As I said, the strength in Aaron's perfumery is the performance, the creativity, the insane price value proposition. He's a truly honest and transparent seller, and he really lets you know all his fragrances contain real stuff, has real ouds. He gives you all the paperwork on his websites. He's a fantastic, fantastic person. I really hope you guys check out more of his stuff if you can order it, and I know he's trying to increase distribution to different parts of the world. Hopefully you guys found this video useful. Check out our other video where I review other YouTubers' fragrance releases, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.